Hey, it's Thomas Clark 11 with potentially the last Lost Ones Draft League team prep video, depending on how the battle goes. So this is week 1 of the playoffs, round 1. So if I lose this, then I will not be having another match. But before going into the opposing team and what I'm bringing, I'm going to also make this the results video for the regular season. So going over the placements of everyone in the regular season leading up to the playoffs. So in last place was the Empire City Joltics, PT Red, their coach, with 0 wins, 11 losses, and 2 ties. 13th place, the McDonald's Sunkerns, Koichi Komeji, 3 wins, 7 losses, 3 ties, and almost every instance of a tie is because both people failed to show up on time for their match, failed to schedule it, so neither of them could be given a forfeit win. 12th place, the Middletown Meltons JPB Gators, 4 wins, 6 losses, 3 ties. Belfast Blossoms in 11th place, Max, 5 wins, 8 losses. Glasgow City Glooms in 10th place, 5 wins, 7 losses, 1 tie. Boston Beedrills in 9th place, 5 wins, 6 losses, 2 ties. 8th place, New Jersey Bearticks, 6 wins, 7 losses, 0 ties. 7th place, Hades Houndooms, Jay Rassick, 6 wins, 6 losses, 1 tie. He actually would have been making the playoffs, but in the last few weeks, he just failed to show up for any matches, and that ended up giving him enough losses that he took himself out of the playoffs when he originally should have made it. 6th place, and the opponent I'm going up against in the playoffs, the Holly Pichus Wingheart, 7 wins, 6 losses, 0 ties. 5th place, Mississippi Marshadows and Scoots, 8 wins, 5 losses, 0 ties. Well, there's no ties after this point, so I'm just not going to mention that. So I came in 4th place with 8 wins, 5 losses, and 3rd place was also 8 wins, 5 losses. The difference came to differential. I had a loss versus the 3rd place, and I believe a win versus 2nd place. I mean, a win versus the 5th place, which put me in 4th, even though I had the most KOs out of 3 of them at 67. So 2nd place, Joshua with the Tuscaloosa Tyrantrums, 9 wins, 4 losses. And 1st place, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Palmez, 11 wins and 2 losses. So this was actually a late season replacement, and most of those wins were not his own, but he took the place, so he ended up in the playoffs anyway. Who knows if he would have made it there or not, but he did only lose 1 actual match of his own, I think. So on to the opposing team, what they're bringing, well, what they could be bringing. They have Tapafini, Ferrothorn, Salazzle Z, Machamp, Gligar, Persian, Alolan Persian Z, Mega Charizard X, Excelgor, Reuniclus, Thundurus, Therian Z, Exploud, and Dusclops. So, same as last time I battled them, which was in one of the later weeks, so there's been no changes to the team. But I'm going to be bringing things a little bit differently than I did then, since they're probably going to be bringing things a little bit differently too. This time, I suspect they'll definitely be bringing the Mega Charizard. So once again, I'm bringing things to take care of that and running some different moves on things. I've got Sylvain with Superpower here for dealing with the Ferrothorn, Outrage for the Charizard, and just general hitting things hard, Earthquake for the Salazzle, and Poison Jab for the Feeny. So this is going to be my main attacker. A bit unfortunate that for potentially my last battle, I'm not going to be bringing my signature Typhlosion, since This team resists fire way too much. So I've got Mr. Kobayashi for support here. Gyro Ball is kind of useless, I guess, but couldn't really think of anything that's really worth bringing over that since there's Earthquake, I guess, but it's not really going to do much to anything. Only really the Charizard, but I'm not living against the Charizard, so there's no point. So Stealth Rock is going to be very important for the Salazzle and Charizard and Thundurus, and probably the Feeny. Feeny isn't going to take extra damage from it, but Feeny is probably going to be switching in and out a lot. With such a defensive team that they have quite a defensive core between Feeny and Ferrothorn, so Stealth Rock is going to be very helpful here. Mimikyu, running the same Mimikyu as the last time I faced them, I believe. Play Rough handles just about everything, and then Drain Punch handles the Ferrothorn. The only thing I can't deal with is the Salazzle, but not really going to be dealing with the Salazzle well in the first place. Shadow Sneak would always be the best bet against that. So I believe at +2 I could 2-hit KO with Shadow Sneak. But more importantly, it just needs to be worn down before I can use Shadow Sneak on it, since it completely destroyed the Mimikyu. Narrative Gundam bringing Ground type, since that seems like it would generally be the best for dealing with the Charizard and Thundurus. Ice Beam for that Gligar, and I was considering bringing Flamethrower for the Ferrothorn, but I don't think it's going to be worth it. I'm going to need the Ice Beam for Gligar. I don't have anything else for Gligar. Kshatriya, Flamethrower for that Ferrothorn, Leech Seed and Toxic for just about everything. The only thing I have to really worry about is the Thundurus and Charizard, so that's why I'm bringing defensive things to deal with them. And Haxorus as a counter, well, as a check for Charizard. And I believe it can also one-hit KO that Thundurus after a Stealth Rock. Then I already went over Zeke von Genbu, I think. Just my second offensive threat on this team to deal with a lot of stuff. I've got Sludge Wave for... Actually, Sludge Wave is just like the... I mean, I couldn't really think of anything else to bring. It's not going to be super effective against anything, but I couldn't think of any other coverage move to bring that would be worth it here. At least not without going physical, but they've got more physical bulk on the things that I would need to deal with, so didn't really seem like there's anything else I could bring. There's Focus Blast, but that's not really going to help much better than Sludge Wave, and it's so risky. Taunt to shut down that Ferrothorn, and would help against the Charizard if they're going to run Dragon Dance. And then Defog to be safe. Got 2 Defogs and a Rapid Spin on this team. So the battle will be going up tomorrow, and this may be my last ever battle, but we won't know until it's over. Well, I guess you will know, because if it is the last battle, I'll be having that in the title, and you'll know I lost, I guess. But anyway, see you in the battle tomorrow.